Good afternoon, students. Okay, today I wanted to discuss about the one more acid-base concept. Already discussed four acid-base concepts. One is Arrhenius acid-base concept, Lux-Fladine concept, Lewis acid-base theory, and finally Bronsted-Lowry acid-base theory. After that, one more acid-base concept, Pearson's acid-base concept. Okay, here Lewis acid-base theory can explain by the Pearson's Lewis acid-base theory, also explained by the Pearson's. Okay, in further classification, according to Lewis acid-base theory, compounds are classified into Lewis acids and Lewis bases. Okay, here Lewis acids and bases further classified in different way based on those electronegativity, electropositivity and different properties. We'll see in conclusion. Okay, in 1963, Pearson's tried to classify the Lewis acids and bases into hard, soft acids and bases. Hard, soft acids and bases. Here, according to Lewis acid-base theory, okay, compounds are two types. One is Lewis acid, and second one is Lewis base. According to the Lewis acid-base theory, which donate the one electron pair, which has capable to donate the one electron pair, we call as Lewis base. Which has capable to accept one electron pair, we consider as a Lewis acid. Which has capable to donate one electron pair, we called as a Lewis base. These are the definitions of acid, Lewis acid and Lewis base. Okay, here in further classification in Pearson's concept, HSAB concept, hard soft acid base concept. Okay, Lewis acids are classified into based on their strength, based on their capability. Okay, Lewis acids are classified into three types. One is hard acids, soft acids, borderline acids. Okay, what are hard acids? Hard acid means the molecule which have acceptance nature, electron acceptance nature or ligand acceptance nature, we call as hard acid. These are having small atomic size. Okay, small atomic size means more electropositive. Okay, small atomic size means less electropositive. Here, less electropositive. Okay, these are having more and more attractive nature. Okay, high electropositive charge. High positive charge. Example for this first group cations. Okay, H plus ion, Li plus ion, sodium plus, lithium plus, potassium plus, rubidium plus, cesium plus. Along with that, okay, some second group also will come into the here. Beryllium, magnesium also, those are also best example for the hard acids. Along with the aluminum trichloride, it has vacant orbital. This is also one of the best example for hard acid. Phenol is also one of the best example for hard acid. I plus 5. It is also one of the best example for hard acid. SO3, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, potassium plus. You remember potassium plus? We will discuss about the potassium plus in continuation. Potassium plus is the hard acid. Hard acids are having high acceptance nature, small atomic size and high positive charge. These are simply considered as a hard acids. Then in continuation what we have? Soft acids. These are also acceptors. Okay, electron acceptors, electron acceptors from the ligand. Okay, these are having large size. Due to the large size, these are having accepting nature is less compared to hard acids. Okay, here these are having low positive charge. Sometimes these are also having zero positive charge. Example for this, okay, D block elements ions, D block element metal ion, Cu plus 1 ion, Ag plus ion, Ag plus 1, Hg plus 1, Hg plus 1, okay, lead plus 2, lead plus 3, and BH3, boron hydride, okay, iodine, bromine, chlorine atom, iodine atom, and carbenes. Carbene means CH2 group. Okay, CCl2 we called as dichlorocarbene. CCl2 we called as dichlorocarbene. CH2 we called as carbene. All those, okay, here all those are acts as a soft acids. All those are simply acts as a soft acids. And borderline acids. What is the meaning of borderline acids? The acids which are having moderate properties or intermediate properties between hard acid and soft acid. Hard acid and soft acid we called as borderline acids. That means these acids are having intermediate properties between hard acids and soft acid. Not large, not small. Not high electropositive, not low electropositive. Having moderate electropositive. Example for this, iron is the moderate or borderline acid. Carbon, cobalt, this is also one of the CO plus to cobalt. It is also one of the best example for borderline acid. Okay, nickel plus to sulfur dioxide, lead, zinc, NO plus, nitrosyl ion. NO plus we call nitronium ion. Okay, it is a NOC, nitrosyl ion. Okay, these are all example for borderline acids. This is about the simple discussion of the hard acid, soft acid and borderline acid. Okay, then in continuation, Lewis base. According to the Pearson, Lewis bases are three types. What are those? Hard base, soft base, borderline base. Hard base, soft base, borderline base. Okay, here, what are the hard bases? Which have high electronegativity? Which have high electronegativity and completely filled orbital containing, okay, molecules or ions or atoms we simply considered as a hard bases and capable to donate one electron pair. Example for these are the high electronegative molecules or atoms, completely filled, having completely filled orbitals. Okay, water, OH minus, SO4 minus 2, C2O4 minus 2. This we call as oxalate ion, CO3 minus 2 carbonate ion, ROH alcohol, R2O alkoxide, RCO minus carboxylate, F minus fluoride, chloride and ammonia, primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine, hydrazine, hydroxylamine. All those are the best example for hard bases. Next, soft base. Okay, these are having low electronegativity compared to the hard base and these are having partially filled orbitals. Incompletely filled orbitals. Such bases are we called as a soft bases. Such bases we called as a soft bases. Okay, electron donating nature less compared to the hard base. Hard base has more electron donating power. Okay, here soft base has compared to the hard base it has less due to the less electronegativity and having partially filled orbital. Due to those, these are considered as soft bases. Example for soft bases, I minus, Cl minus. Will you remember Cl minus? S2O3, thiosulfate ion, sulfide ion, R2S, alkyl sulfide ion, thiocyanate ion. Okay, here CO, carbon monoxide. Okay, C2O4, C2H4, ethylene ion, C6H6, benzene. Is the best example for soft base. Borderline base. What is the meaning of borderline base? Borderline base means the base which has intermediate properties between hard base and soft base. We called as borderline base. These are not having much electronegativity or not having the low electronegativity, having moderate electronegativity. Okay, here completely filled, here partially filled, here very partially filled, not completely filled. In between that we have the here borderline bases. Example for borderline bases. Okay, aniline is the best example for borderline bases. NO2 minus ion, nitrite ion. Okay, nitrogen is also best example for borderline base. N3 minus acyl ion is also one of the best example for borderline bases. Okay, Br minus bromide, sulfide ion, all these are the best example for the borderline acids, borderline bases. According to the Pearson's concepts, acids and bases are classified into three types. Bases are classified into three types. Acids are classified into three types. Those are hard acids, soft acids, borderline acids, and here bases are classified into three types: hard bases, soft bases, and borderline bases. Borderline bases. Okay, just this is about the introduction of and explanation of the Pearson's acid base, hard soft acid base concept. Pearson, hard soft acid base concept. Hard soft acid base concept. In continuation, we'll see the one important concept. Pearson's concept explains about the one concept, symbiosis. What is the meaning of symbiosis? Here I don't want to rub the examples. Here important, we'll see in continuation. Symbiosis. Symbiosis. What is the meaning of some symbiosis? Hard acid reacts with hard base, forms stable complex. Soft acid reacts with soft base, forms stable complex. Hard acid, soft base. Soft acid, hard base. This gives unstable compounds, unstable complexes. What is the meaning of symbiosis? The hard acid has capability to interact with hard base and form a stable complex. The soft acid capability to interact or react with soft base and form a stable complex. That phenomenon we call as symbiosis. That phenomenon we call as symbiosis. That means here I am taking potassium. Potassium belongs to hard acid. It is reacts with cyanide. It is reacts with cyanide. It is a potassium reacts with cyanide. Instead of potassium, here I am taking Ag plus ion. Ag plus ion is the what is Ag plus ion? Ag plus ion reacts with anyone. You take anyone. What you take? F minus. What is the F? Ag is the soft acid. Here F minus is the soft base. F minus is the it is a hard base. Hard base. Ag plus ion, you take soft acid. I minus ion. I minus ion. Here it is a soft base. Ag plus ion is the soft acid. Ag plus ion is soft acid. F minus ion is hard base. Here I minus ion is soft base. Here forms AgF, AgI. Which is more stable? AgI is more stable. It is unstable. The stability of molecule can be explained by using this hard soft acid base concept. Here AgI is more stable. Why AgI is more stable? Why AgI is more stable? Why AgI is more stable? AgI formed by the soft acid and soft base, but not AgF. Ag is the soft acid, F is the hard base. That's why it is an unstable molecule. This is stable molecule. Stable molecule. You take any one. You take any molecule. We can explain like that only. This concept we call as symbiosis concept. This concept we call as symbiosis concept. You take K plus Ag plus. K plus is hard acid. Here I am writing. You take one of the best example in alkynes, aldehydes in first phase, in second phase is there. Ag plus and K. It is K plus is what? K plus is hard acid. Okay, here Ag plus is soft acid. Okay, it is reacts with Cn minus. It also reacts with Cn minus. What happens? Cn minus is Cn minus is soft base. Cn minus is soft base. AgCN was formed. Here it is soft base. KCN was formed. Which is more stable? Here it formed by the soft base, soft acid. Here it formed by the hard acid and soft base. It is unstable. It is more stable. It is unstable and it is more stable. Okay, more stable. Okay, here KCN. Okay, here suppose for example it is reacts with ethyl chloride. It is also reacts with ethyl chloride. C2H5Cl. Here forms acids. We get the ethyl cyanide. Here difference. Okay, here we get the ethyl isocyanide. This concept, formation of ethyl cyanide and formation of ethyl isocyanide, also explained by using this HSAB concept, hard soft acid base concept. This is about the simple discussion of the HSAB concept. This is the fifth Pearson's acid base concept. Then in continuation, we'll see the one more important concept, that is solvent system, auto-ionization concept. Auto-ionization concept we call as solvent system acid base theory. Auto-ionization. This is the last topic in this acid bases. Today I will finish this chapter. Tomorrow I will start organic chemistry. The sixth system, solvent system. Okay, this is also called as auto-ionization theory. Auto-ionization acid base theory. Auto-ionization acid base theory. Okay, in 1905, Franklin explains about this system, solvent system or auto-ionization system. Okay, any solvent undergoes auto-ionization, forms cation and anion. Okay, suppose for example, water, ionization. Water undergoes self-ionization, auto-ionization, forms H plus ion and OH minus ion. H plus ion is the cation. OH minus ion is called as anion. Okay, if this H plus ion dissolved in solvent, we call as acid cation. If OH minus ion dissolved in a solvent, we call as base anion. Okay, if it dissolved in solvent, that we call as acid. If OH minus ion dissolved in, that means anion dissolved in solvent, we consider as base. Okay, here any solvent undergoes auto-ionization, forms cation and anion. Cation, if it cation dissolved in solvent, we called as the solvent acid. The material we called as an acid. If that OH minus ion, anion, dissolved in solvent, we called as base. According to this solvent system, acid cation called as a acid, base anion we called as a base. Base anion we called as a base. Okay, here this is the first example. See the ammonia. Ammonia also one of the solvent. It also undergoes self-ionization, auto-ionization and forms NH2 minus and H plus ion. Both are dissolved in solvents. Okay, this is called acid cation. Okay, this is called base anion. This is dissolved in solvent, so we call as base. This is also dissolved in, okay, here solvent, we call as acid. We can explain the okay, nature of acid and base by the auto-ionization of molecule, by the auto-ionization of solvent molecule. Okay, here self-ionization of acetic acid CH3COOH is called acetic acid. It undergoes self-ionization. What happened? Here we get CH3COOH2 plus CH3COO minus. Okay, this is anion. Which anion? Base anion. Okay, it is considered as a base. Okay, it is acid cation. It is simply considered as an acid. Okay, this is simple discussion of the solvent system, and we'll see the applications of this system. Okay, it explains about the strong acidic nature of acetic acid. It also explains about the amphiteric nature of zinc hydroxide. It also explains about the basic nature of sulfuric acid. After that, we'll see the disadvantages. Okay, here this Franklin theory, solvent system or auto-ionization theory of an acid base, okay, explains about strong acidic nature of acetic acid. Already we know acetic acid, all organic acids are weak acids. All organic acids are weak acid, but acetic acid here acts as a strong acid. We'll see in continuation. Okay, here first application, strong acidic nature of acetic acid. Actually, acetic acid is weak acid. Okay, it easily dissociates in water, forms H3O plus ion and CH3COO minus ion. Dissociates slowly in water. So I am using this equilibrium. Slowly in water and form the acetate ion. This is the cation. Acid cation is a base anion. Due to the presence of this acid cation, it exhibits the acidic nature, weak acidic nature. Then acetic acid reacts with ammonia. Acetic acid, your base, it is acid. It fastly donates the H plus ion in presence of ammonia. Okay, what happens? We'll get ammonium ion. We'll get the stable compound ammonium ion along with the acetate ion. Okay, acetate ion is base anion. And here form the acid cation. Due to the formation of this acid cation, it exhibits the strong H. Okay, this is also acid cation. It exhibits the weak acid. Here, weak base H plus ion and strong acidic nature. Okay, formation of this NH4 acid cation. Due to the formation of this NH4 plus acid cation, okay, it shows we are explaining. Okay, according to the solvent system, acetic acid has strong acidic nature. Here acetic acid has strong acidic nature. Here acetic acid has weak acidic nature. Okay, the strength of H3O plus and NH3 plus. NH4 plus ion is more strength than the H3O plus. So, okay, the acid cation of this NH4 plus is more strength or stable compared to this one, H3O plus ion. So, okay, here acetic acid acts as a strong acid. Acetic acid acts as a strong acid. Okay, this is about the strong acidic nature of acetic acid. Okay, basic nature of sulfuric acid. Okay, fundamentally sulfuric acid is an acid. Sulfuric acid is an acid. Where it is acid? When it dissolved in a water, it acts as an acid. When it dissolved in a water, it acts as an acid. When it dissolved in a hydrogen fluoride, it acts as a base. It acts as a base. We'll see. Sulfuric acid dissolved in water, 2 moles. You take 2H plus ion something, you take 2 moles. What happened? Here we get 2 moles of H3O plus ion and forms SO4 minus 2. Forms acid cation. Okay, here base ion. So it is a strong acid. Strong acid. Okay, then instead of water, sulfuric acid in HF, liquid hydrogen fluoride solvent. Okay, here actually fluorine is more electronegative than sulfur. So fluorine fastly releases H plus ion. That means it acts as an acid. It acts as an acid. It donates the H plus ion, it accepts. What happened? H3 plus SO4 minus plus F minus. It is a cation. Which cation? Acid cation. It is a base ion. Base ion. Here, see. Okay, here it acts as acid. That means here it acts as a base. It acts as the H plus ion. Okay, according to the Bronsted-Lowry theory, which acts as the H plus ion? Only base. It acts as the H plus ion. So we call as here sulfuric acid here acts as a base. Acts as a base. By using this principle, we also explains about the amphiteric nature of zinc hydroxide. Amphiteric nature of zinc hydroxide. Amphiteric nature means acidic nature and basic nature. Amphiteric nature means acidic nature and basic nature. Third application, amphiteric. Amphiteric nature of zinc hydroxide. Okay, zinc hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. Reacts with hydrochloric acid, forms zinc chloride along with the water. Zinc chloride along with the water. Okay, here it is reacts with acid now. So here it acts as a base. Easily undergoes ionization and forms, okay, here salt and water. Here it acts as a base. Then zinc hydroxide reacts with sodium hydroxide. 2 moles of NaOH. What happened? Forms Na2 ZnO2 along with the 2 moles of water. This is called sodium zincate. Here, what is the nature of sodium hydroxide? Base. What is the nature of zinc hydroxide? Acid. By ionization theory, solvent system theory, we will explain the amphiteric nature of zinc hydroxide. Basic nature, acidic nature. When it reacts with base, it acts as acid. When it reacts with acid, it acts as base. This is called amphiteric nature of zinc hydroxide. These are the applications of solvent system or ionization theory. Okay, then we will see the disadvantages of this theory. Disadvantages of this theory. This theory can't explain the acidic nature of metallic oxides and basic nature of non-metallic oxides. Acidic nature of non-metallic oxide and basic nature of metallic oxides. Okay, not explains about the basic nature of metallic oxides and acidic nature of non-metallic oxides. Okay, here this theory applicable for only solvent which is undergoes autoionization. This theory, okay, applicable for only solvent undergoes autoionization. If solvent not undergoes autoionization, not explains this theory. This theory failed to explain about the, okay, here non-ionizable, non-autoionizable solvents. Example, benzene, ether, all those are non-ionizable solvent. We can't explain those. Okay, this theory fails to explain. Okay, fails to explain the non-ionizable compounds. Sulfur trioxide and acidic oxide. We can't explain about that, okay, acidic nature of that sulfur trioxide by using this theory. Okay, these are some disadvantages of, okay, this solvent system or autoionization theory. Okay, these are the 6 theories present in our first chapter, acid and bases. This is about the acid and bases. First chapter, third chapter, actually first chapter in third semester. Okay, so third chapter in organic chemistry. From tomorrow, I will start organic chemistry. We will continue with the organic chemistry. Thank you.